Hey everyone, I'm Flo, Duties Behind the Camera, and we're all about simple food, simple faith. We are making Kung Pao chicken today, which is one of the most popular takeout dishes, and you can easily make this at home. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to be notified of new videos. We're going to start off by marinating the chicken. I have about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless thighs, and I cut them up into about 1-inch pieces, bite-sized pieces. You can also use chicken breast if you prefer, and you would marinate it the same. So I am using 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, light soy or regular soy, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine. Shaoxing wine is a rice wine. If you don't have Shaoxing wine, you can use a regular rice wine or a sherry or white wine, something to just add depth of flavor. Also using a tablespoon of oyster sauce. Oyster sauce kind of gives it its umami, also deepness of flavor. Just want a tablespoon of that. Adding a teaspoon of dark soy sauce just for color. If you don't have dark soy sauce, you can just add a little bit more of the soy sauce. And a teaspoon of sugar just to balance out the flavors. Doesn't make it sweet. You can omit the sugar if you don't want it. Just know that it might be a little bit more salty. And we're adding about a tablespoon of cornstarch. And cornstarch helps to velvet the meat to make it more tender. I'm also adding about a tablespoon of water. And this is just going to marinate for as long as it takes for me to prepare the rest of the other ingredients. And that's it. If you want to, you can also marinate overnight, totally up to you. And as you can see, I just used the basic sauces that I normally have in my kitchen to make most of the dishes for Chinese cooking. So check out that video for Cantonese basic sauces. While I have all my sauces out, I might as well prepare the sauce that we're going to use for the stir fry. So I have a teaspoon of sugar still in the bowl. And I'm going to add all of the same sauces. So a tablespoon of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, I'm almost out, a tablespoon of oyster sauce, a teaspoon of dark soy, and I'm also going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of chili oil, and the bits that are in it. So maybe about that much. Totally up to you. If you can take it a little bit more spicy, by all means. If you don't want the spice, just don't put it in. Give this a stir. Just make sure that sugar is dissolved at the bottom. And again, the sugar is there to balance out all the flavors. The Kung Pao chicken is a little bit sweet, it's a little bit spicy and savory, so you do want to have a little bit of sugar in there to add some sweetness. Okay, setting this aside. I'm using 1 onion that I'm going to cut into pieces. I also have 3 green onions. You can use more or less, up to you. I found them a little bit small, so I thought I'd use 3. I'm going to cut this part to add to these onions to cook at the same time because I want them to be cooked a little bit more. And the rest is going to be used for, added at the end, like garnish. So we'll set these aside. I also have 1 red pepper. Now you can add whatever vegetables you like for your Kung Pao chicken. I'm going to keep it simple and just use the red pepper and take out the pith and the seeds. You can add whatever vegetables you like celery or carrots, broccoli, or I don't know what else, zucchini. And if that's what you like in your Kung Pao chicken, by all means, add what you like. All right. Also using 3 cloves of garlic that I'm going to mince. I'm just going to remove the skin. And I find that if we bash it a little bit, first of all, the skin is easier to come off, but also it's easier to chop up. I also prefer mincing with a knife versus putting it through a garlic press for Chinese cooking because I find that the garlic can burn quite easily since we cook at such a high heat. So in bigger chunks, it's less likely to burn. Feel free to chop up the garlic as finely or as chunky as you like. I'm also using a couple of dried chili peppers, and they look like this. I am going to remove the seeds because, well, that's where all the spiciness is. So I'm just going to shake out the seeds. If you like it spicy, you can leave the seeds in there. It's totally up to you. You can use more if you want more spice, but remember, we also added chili oil to the sauce. So be aware of how much chili you're actually adding. Okay, heating up my wok on a medium high. I'm going to stir fry about a 1/4 cup of peanuts. These are already roasted, but I think by adding it to the wok and stirring them up adds a little bit more flavor. Once you see that wisp of smoke, add 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using avocado cooking oil today. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit. I don't want my peanuts to burn. Okay, I'm also adding just a teaspoon of sesame oil. I'm going to stir fry this for about a minute or two. Just until you start to smell them. We're going to take them off, put them into a paper towel on a plate just for them to absorb some of the extra oil. Okay, adding another tablespoon of oil. You can use any kind of oil that has a high cooking temperature. And we're adding our chicken. We'll let this sear on one side before moving it around. So a high cooking temperature oil would be like a canola oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, avocado oil. I would probably avoid olive oil because it doesn't have as high a smoking temperature and it might add some extra flavor. But if you are going to use olive oil, just make sure you turn down your heat so that you're not burning your oil. Flip them over. And sear the other side before stir frying it more. If you don't have a wok, you can always use a frying pan. I just like using the wok because I can cook a lot more at once and stir fry it easily. But if you're doing it in a frying pan, you might want to split up the chicken into 2 separate batches so that you don't overcrowd and so that it can get a good sear on each side. I'm going to turn off the heat while I take the chicken out. You want to make sure that your chicken is completely cooked through. What I like about using chicken thighs is that I can cook it a little bit longer and it'll still be really tender and juicy. Okay, turning my wok back on, turning it down to a medium, and adding just a tablespoon of cooking oil again, adding my chili and also my garlic. Once you start to smell the garlic, it should only take about 30 seconds or so, we're going to add our onions and red pepper. And you're going to cook this until it's tender or the texture that you like. Just take a couple of minutes for me here. All right, adding the chicken back in with the juices. Also going to add our sauce at this time. Oh, looks and smells so good, you guys. Adding about a 1/4 cup of water. I'm also scraping up the brown bits at the bottom of the wok. That will add to the overall flavor of the dish. gonna make a cornstarch slurry here. About a tablespoon of cornstarch. Almost out. I'm running out of everything today, which is good. It means I'm cooking at home. And about a tablespoon of water. Make sure the water is cool or room temperature so that the cornstarch will dissolve. Okay, adding to the middle. Give it a good stir. Get this shiny sauce that's covering all of your chicken and vegetables. I'm gonna add our peanuts back in and green onions. All right, just until everything is heated through. Turning off the heat. And I just wanted to say, if you wanted to add some tongue-numbing effect to your Kung Pao chicken, which often they use Szechuan pepper, you can totally add this too. So I have it in powder form, and I'm not going to add it because we already have added so much chili in the dish, but if you wanted to, you can totally do that. All right, let's get this into a serving bowl. Look at how much it makes, guys. When you get takeout, you're not gonna get this much, that's for sure. Chicken was about 10 bucks for me today. I know chicken in Canada is expensive. My bell pepper was about $2.50 and everything else I had at home. So let's say this dish was $15. Are you all ready for?
The taste. Oh, it's really a lot of awesome aroma going on here. You got that wok hei going on, even though you don't have like a million BTU firing through that butane burner. Nice texture, flavor right away. Pepper is cooked really well, nice texture. The initial heat isn't there. It is not a spicy dish, but it does have that low heat. And if you want more of that initial pop of spice, you can add more of the chili oil. It's a wonderful dish that, you know, we usually enjoy in the restaurant, but hey, make it at home and save more money.
Awesome, thanks, dude. Eat well, save money, get the basic sauces, and you can make dishes like this all the time. For this recipe, check it out on my website, flolum.com.